murder mitts.
because she likes to attack people's feet and bite.
Nice. Well, it looks like we're streaming. It looks like we're recording. Very exciting. Any second now there will be a chime.
Yes, we are.
Mute up, y'all.
Okay, share audio. And here comes the chime.
It's Reverend Bill with your God Call.
What if none of this were true? What if none of the assumptions and observations and experiences that you've had have meant what you thought they meant, have been what you thought they've been? Perhaps there's something going on which is much greater, much deeper, much more profound and wonderful than you've experienced so far. For today, try letting go of the attachment to the thought that you already know what's going on. Open yourself to new insight and wisdom. Allow the gift that's at hand to be presented to you in a way that you can enjoy and appreciate.
Well, your day is long and your nights are yours alone. Think you've had enough of this life. Hold on. Hey, everybody hurt and everybody cries. Hey, everybody hurts sometimes everything seems wrong. Oh yeah. Now it's time to sing along. Oh my. Days and nights are long, and you feel like letting go. Oh Lord. Think you've had enough of this life. Hold on. Hey. And everybody hurts. Take comfort in your friends. Hey. Everybody hurts. Don't throw your hands up. No, 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 no. Don't throw your hands up. No, no, no. Don't throw your hands up. No. You feel like you're alone. No, 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 you're not alone. You're on your own in this life. Your days and nights are long. Oh yeah. Think you've had enough of this life. Hang on. Everybody hurts. Everybody cries. Hey. Everybody hurts. Sometimes gotta hold on, hold on, and then again, hold on. Everybody hurts. Hold on.
Woo! Thank you, Dan Rendine. The long lost Dan Rendine. He hasn't actually been lost. It's It kind of seems to me it's like orbital mechanics. Like the orbit comes in really close and then it goes around and then it comes back in, and it is wonderful to see you again. And it's wonderful to see everybody who's here this morning. Good morning, New Thought Philadelphia. We are on Zoom again. It is the beginning of March, in like a lion, and that's certainly true here in the Philadelphia area. It was so nice earlier this week, and it was so cold, single digits with the wind chill this morning. But there's the opportunity for transformation, the reminder that spring starts this month, so stuff is going on. You know the rules on Zoom. Keep yourself muted, except when we're going to share or all talk at once like we're going to do now. Go ahead and unmute your microphone so you can repeat after me. I open myself to love.
I
open
open
myself to
myself
love.
to love.
I open myself to joy.
I
Open
open
myself
myself
to
to
joy.
joy.
I open myself to new possibilities.
I
I
open
open myself to
myself
new possibilities.
And I know love is right here, right now.
and I know
I know
love is
love
right
is
Love is right here, right now.
And so it
what it
is.
is.
And so it is.
Quick finger on the mute button one more time as I remind you that New Thought Philadelphia is an open and loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering space of unconditional love. So, whatever path you've been on, whatever brought you to our Zoom today, wherever you're heading next, we have been expecting you. And welcome home. Not a whole lot of requirements for joining in this community. There's a common thing that we all kind of believe, which is a nice anchor point. We believe there's one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us, and that we're each using that same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our lives according to our beliefs. The way we like to say it, your new life begins with a new thought. If you have an extra electronic device that you don't need, if you are preparing to upgrade to the latest iPhone, which was released just this week, and if you have even more devices than you need, go ahead and put it on shush. There you go. Kathy is shushing her second one on camera. I love when that happens. And we do that so that we can turn away from the outside world and connect with each other and allow the divine awareness of spirit to fill us up even more fully. I am Bill Marcioni, the spiritual director at New Thought Philadelphia. Our music today is the amazing Dan Rendine. We get to hear him all morning. Our guest speaker is Dr. Robert Brzezinski, who has new roles and positions since the last time he was here, which was only the end of 2024. And we have a couple of practitioners who are working with us today. Jesus Baez is going to lead us in a meditation in a little bit. And right now, Breen Rourke, RSCP, is going to open us the way we open everything, with a practical prayer. Breen?
Thanks, Bill. Thanks, everyone. Third bald white guy in a row. Don't worry. There are other people you will hear from today. Oh, so much good already in this celebration. Let's just take a moment and settle in and experience that, open to that one power and presence, that divine idea of the infinite spirit that creates everything from itself. The divine spark that's been there before the beginning of time. Infinite, unlimited field of potentiality. So we're all expressions of that one. We're all here together now, expressing spirit. Opening, as we heard in the God call, to new insight and wisdom. And it's true that, we heard in that song, everybody hurts sometimes, but also everybody loves sometimes, and everyone has joy sometimes. And we're all these human experiences, the divine expressing through us to experience that, the infinite expression of our humanness. It's all good. It's all God in action. I'm so very grateful for it. Grateful for these people coming together, these bright lights of love opening and sharing and growing and evolving together as this idea of New Thought Philadelphia, and everyone everywhere listening, participating, becoming aware of their own divinity here and now, and bringing that into the world in whatever unique and wonderful way is theirs to do. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity to be here today, grateful for this understanding of spirit, and I claim this good. I know this good. This good is here now, and I release my word into the law that always says yes. So it says yes to this good. And I let it be, and so it is. Okay. Prayer works. That's why we do it. It creates a change in our experience of life. So we'd like to hear about how prayer is working in your life. And we call this little bit Prayer Works Stories. It's stories about how, I don't know, prayer is working. Did I say that enough? How prayer is working. I've got a couple. Anyone else have? Jesus. Bill's got one. Jesus, lay
I'd
it
like
on
to
us,
share
brother.
one.
Who
Yeah,
what?
I'd like to
I could
share
take.
one.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, so one of my goals that I've been working on in my life has been to build a successful career in music and to join a band one day and get my music out there. And I'd like to share that as a prayer work story that I think that everyone here at New Thought has afforded me the opportunity to share my gifts, and I would like to share that that's my story because um New Thought has afforded me the opportunity to share my gifts, and I thank everyone at New Thought for allowing me to. And that's my prayer work story.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, it's just this work, this teaching, just opens us up to so much good. All right, Jesus.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. Yeah, I wanted to share. I was practicing like that unity with God, right? Being in that one mind, not so much thinking about my mind or that separation. Being united with getting new ideas and new opportunities. So a client of mine texted me for. She said if I could do pick up a car in Boca, March the 24th or the 25th. So I texted back. I said the 25th would be good. So she said, perfect. So I got my ticket, and then I always put like a mark, 2+ mark when I get the ticket and the confirmation. But I put her name instead of March 25th. I put February 25th on my calendar. So when the day before, when I went to check in, I didn't have no ticket. I said, wait a minute. I know I bought the ticket because I got the mark there, but maybe I didn't. So I bought a ticket. So when I went to the, thank God it was not that expensive for a day before. It was only $120. So I go to the airport. I take a Lyft. I go to the airport and I check in and everything. I go through pre-check, and when I'm ready to board, a small voice tell me, check your message. And when I check my message, it's March 25th. I said, wait a minute, it's not today. I gotta go back home. So I said, thank God, I would have been over there, Then I gotta come back, So yeah, prayer works. Thank you.
Amen. It does.
Love it.
Nia.
All right. Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. So I had a prayer, and it answered like many prayers. I didn't realize it till everything was over. So I had actually for about 14 weeks, as you can tell, I've been counting down. I'm my grandfather's caregiver. So we had kind of some delays with funding, and it went on for about 14 weeks. It escalated to a level of a level 1 complaint that we had to put in, pretty much fighting back and forth with his insurance company. We found out that It was just something simple as the service coordinator was not putting in the information correctly. So it was a 4-week hiatus, but I prayed on it, and with Reverend Bill's trusty sheet from our Heal Like Jesus class, which was like a guidance for practical prayer, I just put the prayer in and I let it go. I didn't deter from anything else that I was doing, any other plans. I said, I'm going to do it differently this time. When I got frustrated, worried, I prayed, meditated, went within. Because of course, 14 weeks, I was trying to be, as patient as I could. But again, I just stuck within. I stayed with my same plans. Whatever I had planned, I said I was going to do. Whatever I was going to pay, I said I'm still going to go ahead and pay it and not say, I don't have it right now, since I wasn't having any additional funds coming in through me being a caregiver. And then I just realized, like, after that prayer was actually answered, I realized that I also prayed for trust. And then I got it because I trust the process. Something that I struggle with is also being grateful. So gratefulness. So during this process, my fiance was there for me and my grandfather. So I was grateful for that, and then grateful that I also still had everything that I needed to continue to pay my bills, pay my tithes, whatever other plans that I had going on. I was still able to do it. So it was many prayers answered in one.
Beautiful. Yeah. It's wonderful how that comes together, and then you don't, like you said, sometimes you don't realize. You go, wait a minute, this all just came into place. Beautiful. William.
You got a really quick one. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of deep spiritual practice to keep the awareness of connection with spirit going all the time. And what that does is it sets me up so that I don't need to do a full-blown prayer for something. It's something comes into my mind and it sort of goes into that pool of consciousness. So many of you who've been around for a while might remember Winnie Musoni, who's been a member of our community and has vanished over the course of the last year. And I had not heard from her, been emailing and texting periodically, and she came to my mind a few times over the course of the last week or two. And then on Friday morning in our morning meditation, there was a relatively small group on Zoom. The rest were on Insight Timer, and Winnie showed up. And it's like, wow, you're here. And she's from Africa. And I said, I'm so glad you didn't get deported. And she mentioned that one of her colleagues had gotten deported. And the reason that she wasn't around is because she was in a graduate program, which I knew was grueling. And she finally decided that it was too grueling. So she's taking a little time off and she's coming back. And the even more fun thing about that is that one of the other people who was on that meditation that morning was Michelle Palamountain, who had been around way at the beginning of New Thought Philly and is now in the practitioner class. Both of them are nurses. Winnie's a nurse practitioner. Michelle retired from nursing, but both studied at Jefferson. So I love it when that stuff comes together.
Thank you.
We got to have a good chat together too.
Comes together. I've got one quick one. Nia reminded me because it's about health insurance, and we got a letter several weeks ago from our health insurance company that they might have been dropping Mainline Health. And if you live in the Philadelphia area, you know Mainline Health is a huge provider, hospitals, doctors, services, clinics. It's a big one. We got a letter, I don't know, Thursday or Friday that the carrier is going to continue letting Mainline Health be a part of their network. So all our providers are still in network. Yay! Prayer works. So give it a whirl. If you don't know what this thing is, prayer, practical prayer, spiritual mind treatment, whatever you want to call it, check us out on the website. We got practitioners who can pray with and for and about you. All right, now it's time. Nia's going to hit us with the announcements. So if you have a kazoo and you'd like to herald in Nia with the announcements, here we go.
All right. This End Like a Lion information is on the website at newthoughtphilly.org. Sign up there for the weekly e-newsletter so we can keep in touch. Save the date for our Spring Songs concert. We'll be live at Falzer Club on Saturday, April 5th, starting at 7 p.m. with live music by John Conahan, Dan Rendine, and Alyssa Garcia. It will be hybrid, so everyone can join in. Tickets go on sale soon. We've expanded our ability to interact within our community. Use the new online form to share your contact info, and we'll be able to more easily reach each other. Join us for a 15-minute meditation on Zoom. They happen twice daily and are inspiring, fun, and quick. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings this week are also on Insight Timer Live. The Practical Prayer podcast this week is Individualized for Separate with Carol and Reverend Bill. Listen where you get podcasts. You can also join the live recording session on New Thought Media Network tomorrow at 1 p.m. The Power of 8 Intention Circle meets every Monday evening from 6:30 to 7 p.m. to help bring new experience into the lives of the group members. God Calls or a half a minute of inspiration that come in on your phone 4 times every week. Sign up for a free 2-week trial at godcall.org. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Insight Timer, and YouTube. Follow, subscribe, like, and share, and join the 2092 spiritual adventurers in our group on meetup.com. Your financial support keeps New Thought Philly going. Please make a tax-deductible donation by Zelle, Cash App, check, PayPal, Venmo, credit, or debit card. Thank you to the team that makes our celebrations work and has fun doing it. We get together before the celebration to put the pieces in order. To join the joy, email our volunteer coordinator. Next Sunday is online with 2,500 days. Reverend Bill talks about the myth that it takes 21 days to form a habit and the power of what happens once the new habit has become part of daily life. Live original music by Ron Chelsvik.
Oh, and just to jump in, there's a typo on that. It's going to be a hybrid celebration. We are at Falzer on March 9th, which is next Sunday. So still online, but also in person. Sorry, Nia.
Okay. The practitioners are available for professional sessions by appointment. After the celebration, Green is available for a quick transformational miracle in a minute prayer. We'll leave the Zoom meeting open after the celebration for casual conversation.
Thank you, Nia. And look at all y'all who are here with us today. And this is the part of the celebration. When we're in person next week, if you come for the second time, we will give you a lovely gift to say thank you and also a blessing. And people who are here for the first time, whether it's in person or online, you also get a blessing. So if you are here for the first time, you can wave your hand so that we know which ones you are. And if you're not here for the first time, you can join in. Arlene is here for the first time. So the rest of us are going to rub our hands together. You just accept this blessing. We are sending the love in your direction. So let the warmth from your hands come up. Let yourself feel the love and remind you that you are the bright light of God's love. Thank you, thank you, thank you for shining that light and sharing that love with us today. And welcome. So Dan's going to do another song for us, and as he does, if you can switch into gallery view or scroll through the images so you can make eye contact with the people who we're in community with, because the eyes that you're looking with and the eyes that you're looking into are the eyes of God.
They say everything can be replaced. Every distance is not near. So I remember every face of every man who put me here. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now I shall be released. They say every man needs protection. They say every man must fall. Yet I swear I see my reflection somewhere so high above the wall. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. Yonder stands a man in his lonely crowd, man who swears he's not to blame. All day long I hear him shouting out loud, crying out that he's been framed. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. Thank you. We light the flames of faith every week to remind ourselves of the connection. I'm going to lead the flames of faith this time. We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one power, love, intelligence, which we call spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine feminine and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the earth-based traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love. Blessed be. We have a reading this week, and it comes from the Anton New Thoughts for Today book, and the entry is by Dr. Carla Ryan, our friend, another friend out in Colorado, and Dina is going to read it.
This reading is called Mindful or Mindful. And the opening says, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. So this Zen quote inspires me to grow and experience more of life, to be mindful about where I focus my attention, to value learning at all levels. Every practice or skill starts with the small efforts and grows from there. Skills like washing dishes, making the bed, creating a garden, writing a book, starting a company, working with a team, all start with simple, basic efforts and usually evolve into more complicated endeavors. I'm reminded that if I don't do the necessary things consistently, how can I do the greater and more difficult things with any success? No matter how important my pursuits, there will always be simple tasks or chores that still need doing or managing, that are a necessary foundation on the path to success or enlightenment. Those things don't stop just because my talents have grown in other areas or if I've achieved some special title in the world. Whenever a new lesson begins, it is wise to do so with a beginner's mind and put ego aside. Eckhart Tolle says, if you don't become awakened by adding more content to your mind, in fact, those that have awakened say that they actually know less. What comes to awakening is the ability to embrace not knowing. The little things, the basic efforts, provide stability and have incredible value in life. I do know this. And the affirmation is, just for today, I complete my basic tasks first to open my mind and life to greater endeavors.
Dark in the street to the bright side of the road. We'll be lovers once again on the bright side of the road. Little darling, come with me. Won't you help me share my load? From the dark end of the street to the bright side of the road. And into this life we're born. Baby, sometimes we don't know why. Time seems to go by so fast. In a twinkling of an eye, let's enjoy it while we can. Won't you help me sing my song? From the dark end of the street to the bright side of the road. Into the life we're born. Maybe sometime we don't know why. Time seems to go by so fast. come along to the bright side of the road. Little darling, come along to the bright side. Oh, come on to the bright side of the road.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Wonderful. And a reminder that Dan is going to be one of the performers at our Spring Songs concert, which is a month away at Falzer Club. It's going to be on the 5th of April. Also going to be featuring Alyssa Garcia, who is a quite accomplished young musician at this point. You may remember back when we met her and she was 14. She's grown up some since then, and going to be wonderful to see her playing again. And also John Conahan, who does not gig much in the area. He's too busy going off to Lincoln Center to conduct big orchestral things. So Dan, looking forward to seeing that a month from now. We have a guest speaker today, and there's so many different ways to talk about what Robert Brzezinski does and what he means to me. So he is the spiritual and creative director of the New Thought Media Network, which, yes, is the same operation where we record and do the live broadcast of the Practical Prayer podcast every week. He hosts shows on New Thought Media Network on a regular basis, and is a visionary in creating virtual community for a spiritual organization. He also just recently became the spiritual director of the CSL Boulder Valley, out near where he lives in Colorado. He and I met because we worked together on the Anton retreat. I was on the Anton board, and he helped do the video for the retreat. And now I am the administrator, so I stepped down from the board. He's now on the board. We're continuing to work together. That's wonderful. I was on the International New Thought Alliance board. I stepped down. He's now on there. We have a regularly scheduled weekly meeting, and we don't talk every week, but it's important enough that that's what we do. One of the other things that we have in common is that we have both been teen advisors and working with youth as they are going through that transformation from being kids to being adults. And one of the challenges that has come up for a lot of the kids that we've dealt with is dealing with their sexuality and LGBTQ, et cetera, issues. And so that's the focus of this talk today. It's talking about love, justice, and the LGBTQ plus spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Dr. Robert Brzezinski.
Thank you, Dr. Bill. And thank you to New Thought Philly for inviting me back again. Whether you had anything to do with it or Bill just made an executive decision, I'm not entirely sure, but thank you for showing up, because it means those of you that were here last time kind of have an idea of what you might be getting in for today. And that is because I am deeply rooted in this philosophy. And it is incredibly important to me. It's changed my life, and it's made my life bearable, livable, navigable. I'm going to do something a little different with you today, though, because while I am surrounded by friends, family members, close people in my life that would identify themselves as LGBTQIA plus, and as you're going to hear later today, we're going to throw a B in there too in this whole thing. And I'm not. I'm a middle-aged cisgendered white guy. If you didn't figure that out by now, well, spoiler alert. I'm like, from the outside, I'm as white milk toast as they come. And I've experienced those places that say, hey, we'd love to hear from you, but sorry, I can't put another white guy on my stage as a guest. Now, that's not to say that I'm being oppressed, because I'm not. I still have privilege beyond many in our philosophy, even though New Thought teaches that there is one life and one love, one presence, expressing through each of us without exception. And in New Thought, we teach that all people are individualized expressions of the divine. There are no mistakes in God. No one's left out. No one's unworthy. But for centuries, religion has been used to divide, to separate, and to make some feel as if they are outside a circle of love. So today, I want to be very clear that I affirm, and the organizations that I work with affirm, the LGBTQIA plus community is not just accepted in the divine, it must be celebrated as a necessary and beautiful expression of God in form. New Thought teaches that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Our identities, whether racial, cultural, gender, or sexual, are not barriers to the divine. They are the divine unfolding. Spirit, Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind very clearly stated, spirit makes nothing unlike itself. The infinite presence expresses through infinite forms. So every person, cisgender, transgender, non-binary, gay, lesbian, bisexual, on a spectrum, not on a spectrum, all exist as unique and sacred revelations of God. But New Thought demands we go deeper, not just to tolerate diversity, not just to say, oh, it's okay, and maybe you should have your own sports leagues. No, New Thought calls us to celebrate this diversity. The power of the teaching of New Thought, I believe, is we affirm the highest truth. And the highest truth is that love knows no boundaries. Spirit recognizes no hierarchy of worthiness. Now, not so much in New Thought, but for far too long, traditional religions have told LGBTQIA people that they don't belong and divine their human and divine nature, deny their divine nature. But I want everybody here to be really, really clear with me. The divine, God, does not require correction. Only our perception does. The truth is, LGBTQIA plus people have been at the forefront of spiritual awakening at every age and in every society and in every way known to human. I don't know if anybody in this group is watching The Chosen. I'm really excited to watch the next season that's coming. And I'm not here to do any spoilers, but it is the story of Jesus in a modern day language, but with a it's a biopic over 5 seasons. It's amazing because it shows us how even Jesus would have embraced LGBTQ, would have embraced trans teens. And there is a vast generation of teens that have come onto this planet to help us understand these truths in a whole new way. In a way that wasn't talked about when I was in high school, and in a way I would imagine wasn't talked about when you were in high school. When I was in high school, we were singing all the songs that Dan sang for us today, and I'm gonna say I'm just a little bit intimidated to follow Dan's sermon there of 3 songs. I mean that, because that is our experience. And I can't imagine how much it hurts the teens of today to be told that they are less than even human, that they are undeserving of health care, that they are undeserving of the love, of the acceptance of humanity. Now, there has been queer leadership in New Thought and unity and spiritual and all of New Thought all the way back along. Joel Goldsmith, while never publicly out, many scholars look at his writings and see exactly and see through the infinite way and other things a queer mysticism. There have been unity ministers, Reverend Paul Hasselback, independent theologians, Reverend Dr. Irene Monroe, those that started to make the movement not towards direct involvement, but through allyship. Bishop Carlton Pearson comes to mind, a great person in building that allyship. And while I would love to put it in my bio that I am an ally, I am not allowed to do that. None of us have the ability to just say I am an ally. That is an honor that is bestowed upon us. And when someone in a community that is being oppressed, that is being pushed aside, considers me or refers to me as an ally, that is a great, great honor. And yet I believe that as New Thought, that is our natural that is the natural outcome of who we are, is to be the ally. Not to walk around and tell everybody I am, but to be the ally. All the various New Thought leaders across time, and we can talk about the ones active today as well, Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson, that are doing the hard work of moving our culture forward. We're at that point that Dan sang about. We're at that middle point right now where we can start to see the light coming down. And musical scholars look at Bob Dylan's song there, I Shall Be Released, not so much as a redemption from prison or the easy analogies, but if we take that lot deeper and much further in, it's about a movement of civil rights. It's about a movement of yes, personal freedom, but it is a song that speaks to the movement of a shifting culture. How many of us have heard the phrase that the work of shifting culture is long and messy? Personally, I'm trying to find a way, can we get beyond the messiness of it? And truthfully, with 20 years plus in this New Thought movement, I don't think we can. I think the messiness is necessary. We have to suffer if we're going to be released. Now, I know there are a lot in the New Thought movement that will argue with me on that line. We have to suffer. I've often said that if it wasn't for New Thought, I would probably be a Buddhist. Because the root of Buddhism is that there is suffering. And the promise is that we don't have to. We shall be released. But in order to be released from that suffering, we cannot go it alone and we cannot do it alone. It has to happen in community. Because we need everybody out there to see that the promise of New Thought is available to them as well. Queer, trans, gay, cis, whatever we want to call it. Long hair, short hair, hippie freak, redneck, name a label. We love labeling each other. Let's go beyond the labels. Even in our reading today, we're talking about going into a place of embracing the unknown. I don't know what it's going to look like when America elects its first trans president, but it's going to happen. I don't know what it's going to look like when we elect our first gay president, openly gay president. I don't know which one's going to happen first. could be at the same time. But as New Thought, the natural outcome of this philosophy is radical inclusion, and that is not easy. It is not easy to look at politicians, regardless of color or ideology or behavior right now. It is hard to look at aspects of our society and say, there too is God. But I have to. We've got to find a way. Because that is what we're asking them to do for our trans brothers and sisters, for our teens that are so in the muck of trying to figure it out. The songs Dan sang tonight are songs that I sang as a teenager, and I in the time before our setup and a time before we go live, I had a chance to do a little reflection on that. And I didn't know of my privilege at that time. And I was not one of the cool kids of the time. And I know that everyone in this room, if we go back to those years, there was something. There was some amount of hurt. There was something that hurt, that really hurt. But today we got to ask ourselves, how would that have hurt if we knew we weren't in the body that felt right? What if we couldn't stand? What if we couldn't handle being in the shower and being in front of a mirror naked because our body doesn't feel like our body? That's the reality of trans kids. A deep, deep sense of not belonging. Now, this is no one's fault. This is no one in this room takes this and says, oh my God, what have I done? That's not how we play it in New Thought, right? We have to be able to start taking action and demonstrating the conviction of our beliefs. So as we walk in the world, we let it be known that we are an ally. Hang a trans flag outside. Post a trans meme on your Facebook every day. Post something. Share stories. Be willing to be in conversation with people, not to make them wrong, but to perhaps help them see a new vision. Tomorrow morning, 7:44 a.m. Mountain Time. So it'll be there in your inbox if you like it before you wake up tomorrow morning. I'm releasing a Substack post that is called A Liberating Vision of New Thought. And I just wanted to share a couple of little spots of it, because I think it is the most volatile topic of our day. And I think it is imperative that New Thought be involved in these discussions. And I don't expect you to go out and shout this from the rooftops tomorrow. And some of you may not agree with me, but that's okay, because New Thought has room for that. Some argue that fairness in sports requires rigid adherence to sex-based classifications, but fairness is not about exclusion. Fairness is about creating systems that allow all people to thrive, not just those who fit into historically dominant categories. The notion of fairness itself is evolving, just as our understanding of race, gender, and ability have expanded over time. Equity as a principle requires us to look at the broader picture. Sports has never been purely about biology. They've always been there have always been involved with trainings, access to resources, and societal advantages or disadvantages. Transgender athletes, like their cisgender counterparts, dedicated themselves to their craft, train with discipline, and compete with integrity. To deny them the right to participate as their authentic selves is to enforce an outdated model of competition that fails to reflect our growing understanding of human diversity. New Thought calls us to rise beyond limiting ideas. If we affirm that every individual is a perfect and whole expression of the divine, then our actions must reflect that truth. Inclusion is not just a progressive stance, it is a spiritual necessity. And in closing, I write, New Thought teaches us that we create our reality through our beliefs, intentions, and actions. Let us then create a world where every person is seen, celebrated, and fully included. Anything less is not of spirit. Anything less is not New Thought. And thank you for your time. Thank you for your invitation. I look forward to your questions and further discussion after. Peace and blessings.
I listen to the wind of my soul. Where I'll end up, well, I think only God really knows. I swam across the devil's lake, but never, 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 I'll never make the same mistake. But never, never, never. I listen to my words, but they fall far below. I let my music take me where my heart wants to go. I sat upon the setting sun, but never, 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 I never wanted water once, but never, never, never.
Thank you, Rendine. Beautiful. Thank you, Robert Brzezinski, for that beautiful talk. Taking out your time to share with us, communicate, bring some insight, ideas. Yes, we just passed Black History Month. I'm making March. I don't know, maybe they already have it, but I'm making March Meditation Month. I want to take this month to meditate. Reverend Bill was speaking last week about meditation. And I guess next week, he's going to bring more about meditation. And today we're going to do some meditation. So get comfortable, wherever you at. The way it's a lot of techniques that that we had learned. But in reality, the philosopher Marimingo said, no, really, nobody could teach you how to meditate. If you're flexible and open, you find your way. The main thing is not giving up when you don't see no results. Just keep in your practice, because practice make practice. So take a deep breath in, hold it right there, and let it go. Because always in the beginning, to meditate is always to look at your breathing. Even when you're not meditating, when you're walking around, be aware, conscious of your breathing. When you go into an interview, a job, or first date, whatever it is, and you get a little uncomfortable, be aware of your breathing. Hold it 5 seconds, let it go. Keep breathing at your own pace. And it brings some relaxing. But what we do here is spiritual meditation, going within where God abides. A lot of people ask the difference. What's the difference between meditation and prayer? It's basically the same stick with 2 ends. When the shadows of the mind ceases in meditation, the no thinking in real meditation is the greatest something there is. That's a quote from Warren Evans Felt, one of the New Thought's great meditators. Meditation is going within to the deepest, but God abides, the secret place of the Most High. And prayer is coming out. It's coming out, seeing the fruits of your prayer in the manifestation. So simply, meditation is prayers without words. Prayers for the soul, the mind, the heart. It's like speaking to God with the tongue of the Spirit and hear Him answer with the ears of the soul. In prayer, what is prayer? Prayer is a movement of thought in the mind of the person that's doing the prayer along a line of meditation for a specific purpose. So basically, it's the same thing. And scriptures tell us, pray without ceasing. And tell us, blessed is the man that meditate in the law of the Lord day and night. He is like that tree planted by the rivers of water that give his fruits in the season, and his leaves shall not wither, and whatever you touch and say will prosper. So it's a lot of benefits in meditation, in prayer. We are always praying. Because remember, it's a movement of thought. So when you're thinking, you're praying. So don't pray amiss. Pray rightly, specifically, with feelings, imagination, intuition, inspiration, intelligence, all that. Like the reading say, start with the small things. Like Socrates say, one thing I know, I don't know nothing. And everything's available in the plate of meditation. So as we go into the silence together, embrace it, embody specifically this talk, new ideas, be inclusive, not exclusive. Spirit is one, God is one. make Jesus the greatest sample, not the great exception. Sure it, believe it.
Prayer is a movement in thought, moving from the awareness of that one power, that one presence, the divine idea that is God, that is the infinite, that is spirit, the divine presence. Moving from the awareness of that one to the understanding, to the realization that we are each expressions of that infinite here and now. We are that infinite having this human experience in the vast and beautiful variety that we see in the world around us. All these expressions of the infinite as human beings are all that divine. It's all love, it's all God, it's all good. So knowing that it's all God, we move into claiming that good for ourselves, for our loved ones, for our family and friends, for our nation, for the world. Claiming that peace, claiming that harmony, knowing that that acceptance, that love, that universal expression of belonging is coming forth now into expression. And we move into gratitude, being grateful for this good, thankful for this truth unfolding. Grateful for the opportunity and the awareness to move beyond limiting ideas into the unlimited. And then we let it be. We allow spirit to evolve, to unfold. We allow that law of creation to act upon this understanding and this belief and this knowing. And we let it be. And we don't check on it. We don't worry about it. We believe, we have faith, we allow it, and we step into that and we act upon it, knowing that it is so. And so it is. I invite you to take a nice, deep, full, cleansing breath, breathing in and exhale. Bring some gentle motion to your body. Maybe shrug your shoulders. Allow the light to gently come to your eyes. Bring your awareness back to this Zoom celebration. As Dan sings us another song.
Sometimes my mind is filled with good intentions, enough to pave a path to hell. Pictures of the past and worries of tomorrow, obsessions in circles that never help. When my mind is filled with reasons, second guesses and changing seasons, there is some place I always go. Oh, my soul is filled with forgiveness. My soul is filled with forgiveness. Too much time spent all alone in the city, I feel the urge to wander all through my bones. Wanna run and hide, leave everything that I know behind, find what I've been looking for outside myself. When I grab my things to leave, sweet music flows all over me, and there is no place I have to go. Oh, my soul is filled with forgiveness. My soul is filled with forgiveness. I'm not looking for some kind of protection. I'm only looking for a sign of direction. Tired of getting in my own way every day. There must be a better way. Sometimes my heart burns with the desire that no pleasure will satisfy, no love will fill. Jealousy and envy, fame and greed and glory, swallowed up by anger, my bitter pill. When I fall into temptation, deliver me with inspiration. I will never fall too low. Oh, my soul is filled with forgiveness. My soul is filled with forgiveness. My soul is filled with forgiveness. My soul is filled with forgiveness.
Thank you, Dan Rendine. It's an original. Wonderful hearing from you. And from Breen and Jesus. Wonderful. And Dr. Brzezinski, what a spectacular talk you did for us today. Thank you so much. We're up to the part of the celebration where we get to give voice to whatever's come up for us along the way. Oh, and if you subscribe to God Calls, that was it. Coming in just about now. If there's something you'd like to give voice to, go ahead, Dina. She's kind of showing how you do that.
Wow, 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 wow. Dr. Robert. Whew. You know, in these days when the state, I'm gonna try not to cry. Or the state of the world keeps me up and wakes me up. It's so, I have so much gratitude to be in a space where I can feel alignment with what is being said and what is being shared. Radical inclusion. Oh man, that's going up on my wall. Uh, Dan, I was looking back and we have known each other for 21 years. We go back to 2004. And of thousands and thousands of musicians that I know and love and respect, your voice is one of my favorites. Still, I love what you do. I love your writing. You're just magic. So thank you so much for being here. And our meditations, our reading, Jesus, Breen, thank you so much. I'm just in a real space of gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Dina. And keeping the tradition of ministers' wives. Laura?
Hi, everyone. I just want to echo what Robert said. Showing up and being a voice of support is so powerful. There's so many individuals that are feeling alone, feeling not supported. So just your presence of saying, I see you as whole, complete, perfect, showing up and commenting on somebody's post that's going through a challenge, whether they're LGBTQ or straight, to say, I see you. Right now, it's seeing each other and showing up for each other. And when you can acknowledge to somebody who is whatever their spectrum to say, I'm here, right? It's so powerful. Especially somebody who is feeling that who they are being because of what's coming down from society, that their essence is wrong, to say, no, I see you and you are right and you are perfect just as you are. And every time we each stand up, share our voices and support each other, right? That community, that love, demonstrating that love, it's so powerful and it ripples out. It really does. So thank you, Robert, for reminding us that each one of us has power by just acknowledging each other. I see you and you're valuable. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you all. Nia is going to lead us in the offering now.
New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by your contributions. The gift you share helps fund our work in the world, and the way you shine your light spreads the love. We are grateful for every way you share. We don't have a basket today, but there is a donate button on the website to make a donation by Zelle, credit card, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. You may also mail a check to our office in Ardmore. The offering affirmation is on the screen. Unmute. We'll say the affirmation together. I live
I
in an
live in an
abundant
abundant
universe.
universe.
I
I
am
am
one
one with
with
the
Infinite
infinite source,
source.
all
all
good.
good.
I
I
am
am a center of conscious prosperity. I
I
enjoy
enjoy
the
the
richness of
richness
life.
Of life.
I
I
bless my
bless my
gift.
gift.
I
I
share
share
my
my
gift
gift
with
with
gratitude and joy.
I
I
know
know
that as I
As I
I
give,
give, I
I
do
do receive, and
So
so
it
it
is.
is.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. And hit your mute button one more time. Dan Rendine, one more for us, please.
On Good Friday, we don't know I hesitate, but I can only hear the sound of wind. The sky is gray, the sun is peeking in. Never wanna feel that way again. But on Saturday night is when I feel alright. And on Sunday morning, I know that there's a new day dawning. And on Good Friday, can I make it on my own? Lord, I never have to feel so alone. It's the price you pay. They told us at the door. I don't believe it has to be anymore. Yeah. It's the price you pay. It's what the man once said. Well, I know I got it stuck somewhere in my head. Don't get carried away with what you feel. You might not know exactly what is real. On Good Friday, but on Saturday is when I go out to play. And on Sunday morning, I know that there's a new day dawning. And I feel a warming in my bones. And I know I never have to feel so alone, so alone, so alone. Yeah, I never have to feel so alone. On Good Friday, on Good Friday, never have to feel so alone. Hey, yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dan. Ah, another original. What a blessing all of today has been. Let us close with another joyous cacophony. Go ahead and unmute, and you can repeat after me. I am light.
I am
Light,
I am love.
I am
love.
love.
I see love.
I
see
see
love.
love.
I see you.
I see
see
you.
And so it is.